All right, what up, YouTube? This is No Cap, No Filter. I'm your host, Molly G, back at y'all another episode of Running With You. And tonight we got to run about this video I came across. I haven't seen nothing of this video yet. I just been seeing this making its waves, and I said I'm gonna go ahead and react to that. But it's basically a woman talking about how women who marry for money are delusional. Now we all know, marriage, women like to marry for certain things, men like to marry for certain things. And when it comes to women, financial security is one of the reasons. So I think it'd be interesting to see what her take is for marrying for money or delusion. I'm guessing she's going to say marrying only for money and don't like the man whatsoever. But let's go ahead on and see what she's going to say.
About a year ago, I posted a video saying women who marry for money are corny. I got fried on the internet. However, like many great philosophers, I think my ethos was just a touch too early for the times. I do think the internet is now ready to hear my side. However, instead of saying women who marry for money are corny, I'm going to say women who aspire to marry for money are delusional. And I'll point out three main delusions. I know this from lived experience. I went to one of those fancy New England prep schools. I went to a top 12 school. I had interned in banking. A lot of my friends work in banking. I've worked in tech. I've worked in finance, blah, 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 blah. I know that world. So I can tell you from lived experience. So delusion number one is who these men are actually choosing. I think what made this discourse so exciting in the beginning is it made women believe that a man is going to pluck you from obscurity, from the town that you hate, from the job that you hate, and he can fundamentally change your life. When in reality, these men have a very specific pool of women that they're selecting when they're thinking about partnership. They are thinking about, or they are selecting women from the business school that they went to, the undergrad that they went to, the pre-professional programs that they are part of, the members-only clubs that they are part of, where they summered over the vacation, family, friends, or maybe through friends of friends. Like maybe he's having a housewarming in his apartment loft in Tribeca and his best friend brings a homegirl and that's how he meets. But it's all through very proximate and concentric circles. And let's say you do get lucky and maybe you connect on Raya or a night out. The second he brings you around friends or the partner at the law firm and you can't talk comfortably about things that only people who grew up. What the idea has made it seem like it is countless shopping trips and Chanel bags. The reality is, whether you're dating someone who inherited wealth, who is creating their own wealth, athlete, entertainer, they're always traveling, they're always on the road, they're always working. They have zero time to pay attention to you. It is an extremely lonely relationship. Essentially, you are effectively single with some moments of partnership. Their priority is.
All right, so the first point that she pointed out was proximity. A lot of people, they tend to date people who are in close proximity to them. For example, if you go to the school, high chances is going to be you're going to date somebody from your school. If you've been at your job for a long time, high chances you're going to date somebody that you met at your job or that you work with at your job. Your social circle, your neighborhood, like just your everyday surroundings. You're likely going to date somebody, you know, because of that. So proximity matters. All this social media stuff, yeah, you could meet somebody in LA even though you stand in Chicago, but for the most part, in general, people gonna marry through proximity. People gonna get into relationships through proximity. Can it work on the internet? Yes. But for the most part, people, usually gonna marry the people they in the same uh walks of life with. The other part is men gonna be busy. If he's out making the bacon, he's not gonna be have time to just be with you all the time. And that's where the the housewife that's lonely epidemic can start. That's where the a idle mind is a devil's playground can start. That's why a lot of people, when the pandemic hit, a lot of these people were out of work. So by them having to be home again and be around their spouse a lot of people got into divorce because sometimes being away can help a relationship because you're not up under the person so much. You give a chance to meet somebody, you give a chance to miss somebody. But yeah, man, she's making some good points so far. So let's go ahead on and finish.
It will continue to be work. Also, the sort of like attention seeking behavior that you could get away with someone who wasn't as focused on their career cannot happen. You need to have a robust full life, a job that you love, friends and family, for you to even feel fulfilled in a relationship like that. Because if you're looking for your partner to spend a lot of time and attention on you, it's just not going to happen. I also don't even know where the notion that these finance tech bros are out here spending money and buying Chanel bags. They must have the best PR on the planet. They work for their money. They are some of the cheapest people you will ever meet. And I don't even mean that in a pejorative sense, but I mean that in like when you have to earn your, like, spend 15 hours at a desk in order to earn your money, you are not going to spend that on a Chanel bag on a girl that you met 2 weeks ago. And I think that's another thing. I think a lot of people conflate the experiences that they might have with like athletes and entertainers with people who work in corporate tech finance. It's not the same. And the third delusion is I think a lot of people grossly overestimate how much money you will get in alimony or child support. So, women, I am telling you this from insider experience. The easiest and less painful way to become a millionaire and have that soft life is to do it yourself.
Yeah. Well, the good thing about it is we in a time and era where a lot of women are getting money themselves. A lot of women are starting businesses. They're becoming, internet savvy. Uh, and a lot of them are doing it through their looks. They're going getting a BBL. They're, opening up a salon. They're opening up some type of internet service, and a lot of them are, pretty doing well for themselves. The ones who are at least consistent about it, So it ain't so much as a one off compared to years back, like in the 80s and the 90s and stuff like that. Like you'll have a one off when it came to females that was really getting a bag, but now so many women are getting a bag right now, like due to social media and based off their looks and based off their customer service and their grind. And some of these women are hustlers, like I must say. TikTok, Shopify, like all these little applications are really there to help them out. Also, she was like, she think that social media has really played a part to warping females' mind, thinking that okay, well, since these type of men are doing this, all type of men should be doing this. But a man who's working a 9 to 5, the average man, he's not going to be able to do what said rapper or athlete and all these ball players are doing. And once a woman set their standards to that, they can't go back down. It's almost like a woman when they're 18 years old and they finally talk to a dude with his own car, finally talk to a dude with his own house. It's hard to talk to a dude that live with his mom who don't have a car anymore, because now you didn't experience the dude with his own stuff and his own car. Your first dude who was like that. Now it's hard to go back down, Same with experience with these women who they talk to their first local rapper, they talk to their first D1 athlete, they talk to their first entrepreneur. They're gonna just set that across the board for every man, thinking every man gotta thinking every man have to hold up to that same standard, and that's definitely not the case. Even the men that make over 100,000, like she say, in tech, even the men that make a lot of money from hospitals or a lawyer, those men gotta actually really work for their money, and they ain't just about to just give it to no female off rip. That's one thing about it. These females want things off rip. Like females really think that there's not other females that men are dealing with on a daily basis. After one date, they expect them to pay their bills. That's almost the same ick that a woman get after one date. The man wants to come to their house and try to be in position to sleep with them. The same way women get the ick with men trying to sleep with them so fast, the same way men get the ick with women trying to get in their wallet so fast. Like let things naturally happen. If a man really like you, you're not too much going to have to ask. And if a man really like you, he's going to put in effort to try to help you anyway, financially, or at least do stuff nice for you, at the very least be able to, help out with your maintenance and stuff like that when he really likes you, Same with a woman. When they really like you, they ain't going to make you go through hoops and loops waiting 90 days to have sex. Maybe a couple of days, maybe. I mean, I said a couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks, maybe after a couple of dates and getting to know you. depending on what type of moral compass she has. But other than that, she's not gonna make you wait too long. But yeah, man, when it comes to this, I do think proximity matters. Like she said, I do think men that, you know, work very hard for their money, they not just about to give it to a random girl that doesn't earn it. Like women, they have to understand they have to earn a man's pocket, just like a man has to earn a woman's body. It happens over time. And the more comfortable we get with each other, the more access you will have to that, and a person will be comfortable. All you got to do is just fill in to a man's life, do little things, be appreciative, uh, give him a massage, make him food, clean up his house. If you do cook, if you notice anything that could be straightened up, do that. Like men always remember the woman that cleaned up their room when a woman just come and just do it off of instinct and naturalness, just genuinely. But other than that, I mean, she hit on some very good points. I do think, when it comes to wealth, when somebody just becoming wealthy, marriage is one of the main ways that a woman can become wealthy is through marriage, from divorce, stuff like that. But it's that really happens when a man is extremely rich, and the odds of you getting with an extremely rich man, it is very slim pickings, But I always believe, man, you shouldn't marry a man just based off his finances. You shouldn't marry a woman just based off her looks, and that's the two main things. Men look for beauty, women look for money, you got to have more substance to that. You got to have a actual genuine chemistry with somebody in a relationship. That way y'all can build a foundation for it to last, because looks gonna fade. And on top of that, I ain't gonna say money can always fade, but it's a chance that money can fade. And even if the money doesn't fade, if you don't have no foundation to where y'all actually like each other genuinely and want to spend time around each other, it's just not gonna work. Otherwise, you're just gonna be a wife that's gonna seek love from someone else. But until next time, man, that's all I got to say about this video. I want to know what y'all think down in the comment section below. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed yet, what you waiting on? I'm out.